Hey everybody, Mike Chipperini at Chipper's Island Adventures, and today I flew into Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I'm on my way to Key Largo. But along the way I decided to stop off in this cemetery. It's called Our Lady of Mercy Catholic Cemetery, and it's located here in Doral, Florida, just outside of Miami Beach. And buried here is Jackie Gleason. And you can see this little information thing that you can scan with your phone, and it says the Gleason Gazebo Mausoleum. And as we walk over here, it's a beautiful cemetery, very kind of like a flat, not hilly or anything, and really it's doesn't seem to be a lot of people in here, you know, for as long as it's been here. And here we approach the memorial, the gazebo as they called it, and as you can see going up the stairs it says, "And away we go." As we know, Gleason had quite a few catchphrases, such as "And away we go," "To the moon, Alice," "Live from Miami Beach, it's the Jackie Gleason show." And he just had a lot of cool catchphrases, you know. And then he can quote from, you know, his movies like Smokey and the Bandit, which is very quotable. "I'm gonna catch that summer bitch." And then he had The Hustler. You also had The Honeymooners show. But he had a lot of great movies during the 60s, 70s, and I think one into the 80s with Tom Hanks. And then maybe even the 50s. I think the name of one of the movies I remember watching was, I believe the name of it is Gigot, G-I-G-O-T, and he was unbelievable in that. He didn't speak at all, but he had a great character. So here we are at Jackie Gleason's final resting place, and you can see these kind of beds or whatever, and you can see Jackie Gleason, 1916 to 1987. I hope you can see that. I'll bring it in a little bit more. And then we go over here, and this is his wife Marilyn, who died in 2019. And right next to this mausoleum is another name you might know, and that's one of his co-stars. Supposedly I heard she was related, but don't quote me on that. I gotta find that out later. And that is June Taylor, who passed away in 2004, and I believe she was one of the actresses from The Honeymooners. So anywho, this is my first stop on the way to Key Largo. Here we are at Jackie Gleason's final resting place. Okay, so here I am on another adventure, and what I did today is I flew into Fort Lauderdale. Right now I'm headed south toward Key Largo, and the reason why I'm going here is I'm hoping to get some snorkeling time in, and then I'm going to spend 3 days here, followed by going up to see some friends up in Tampa, which I've done the past couple years. Usually I do this trip in coinciding with the RV show in Tampa in January, but I didn't make that this year. So the reason why I'm coming down here is I was watching a video, and in it they talked about the really good snorkeling in Key Largo. So I kind of got hooked into it, and I figured I had some frequent flyer miles, so I figured I'd take a trip down and check it out. I'm hoping the weather is good enough for snorkeling, and but there are other things to see down here, which I'll be showing you on the video. But the first thing, of course, was where I just stopped off at Jackie Gleason's grave, which, you know, it's nothing extraordinary. It's a beautiful mausoleum, gazebo style mausoleum, And you know, very simple as far as the ornateness of it and whatnot. And you know, when I was growing up, and anybody my age, a little bit younger and older, he was a television icon. And you know, his Honeymooners is one of the classic television shows. And I remember watching live from Miami Beach, the Jackie Gleason show. And that was always really cool, because back in those days, you know, being up in New England, and here's a show not coming from New York, not coming from Los Angeles, but from Miami Beach, which was this exotic city deep down in the southern part of the United States. And as a kid growing up in New England, that could have been on another planet for all we knew, you know. But you would see those beautiful beaches and the palm trees swaying. And not only that, but you know, he was a great television actor, great movie actor, and he orchestrated a lot of great music. I think one of the albums was Music for Lovers or something. And he just did he was multi-talented. And this all coming from a guy who grew up very poor in New York City. I think his father was absentee for whatever reason, and his mother worked in a subway token booth. So that's not a lot of coin to be bringing home, you know. And somehow he got out of there and became an entertainer and just made millions of people laugh and happy. So my hat's off to Jackie Gleason, and that's why I stopped at his grave. It was only a little bit out of the way on the way to Key Largo. So now I'm headed to Key Largo. I'm on this stretch of road that is just taking me south toward there, and it looks like I got about another 34 minutes on the road, and we'll check it out once I check in. Okay, so hey everybody, I just arrived at the Holiday Inn here in Key Largo. I think it's a Holiday Inn Express actually. So I just arrived here. It's right on Route 1, and nice place. Has that kind of island feel, and I'll point that out to you when I show you the room. But I'm going to show you the lobby here right now. You can see you walk through the doors, come over here. Here's a little water feature. Here's a check-in desk over here. Nice little sitting area. And then they have some type of bar here. And then a dining room. So I'll find out what this is all about in the morning, because they do have like a breakfast buffet, and they do have breakfast, I believe, that is included with the price of the room. I'll find that out later as well. But this is the kind of guest area, the lobby area. But then you step outside, and it's really a nice pool area with a tiki hut. So we'll go this way, over here. So you can see, nice. This is when it really gets nice. It's got this whole lounge area here. It has two pools, one over here, which has a 9-foot depth at one end. Pretty nice. And then you have the tiki hut in the middle, where you can get drinks and food. And right now I have an order I'm waiting to receive. And then there's another pool over here, which I believe is a more shallow pool. It looks like it's like 5 feet deep at the end. And it looks like there's like a game area over here, which I haven't really checked out. So I'm gonna go ahead. So you can see the pool, and then the rooms in back. My room is on the other side, facing the parking lot, which is fine. I'm just sleeping in there. But I'm just getting the bearings, but I needed to get a bite to eat. Had a bit of a drive coming down here, a couple hours with a stop off. So I haven't eaten all day. I'm pretty hungry. And so I stopped here to get a wrap or something. Got a seltzer water to drink, then I'm gonna have a coffee. kind of wake up a little bit. But nice little resort area here, right in the middle of Key Largo. Well, had a beautiful afternoon dip in the pool. What's funny is people were over there chilling out, nice peace and quiet, a couple kids in the pool. All of a sudden a whole bunch of kids came, like a whole busload, and they started swimming the length of the pool one at a time. And it's all good, you know, because I was finished with going in the pool anyway. And I talked with one of the people who, one of the adults that was with them, and what it is they're going snorkeling tomorrow, and the adults wanted to see who could stay afloat and who would sink. Basically, they wanted to make sure everybody could swim. So that was kind of neat. You know, they're having a great time out there. It's good to see kids having fun, and it's really good to hear that they're going snorkeling tomorrow, which is what I plan on doing as well. Well, just figured I'd take a walk down to the Walgreens, which is only a little short walk from my room here at the Holiday Inn, and picked up some waters along with some protein drinks. You know, the protein drinks are good as a filler. You know, instead of starving, you can always knock back a protein drink in between meals, and certainly a healthier alternative to some of the stuff we all like to eat. So, but I did need waters anyway, so that's always a good thing to have around. Now I'm headed back. I think I'm gonna go around the corner behind the hotel. I guess there's a restaurant back there somewhere. Go have a bite to eat. So nice little area right here. This is right adjacent to the hotel, and apparently this restaurant called Skipper's is somehow affiliated with the Holiday Inn. So I'm gonna see if I can get a bite to eat there in a minute, but this is real pretty here. Got the sun setting over here. It's gonna be a little bit, but very nice. And I know a lot of these boats here are charters for going fishing, and they'll bring the fish and go ahead and fillet them up here. So we may see that tomorrow, but very nice. Yeah. Here's what's left of the African Queen from the movie of the same name, which starred Humphrey Bogart and Katharine Hepburn. And apparently this boat has been around since the movie, and it was actually displayed out of the water for quite a long time, which really isn't good for the boat, believe it or not. But I'm sure there's been some restoration done on this since then. They also have some pictures over here. You can see Katharine Hepburn along with Humphrey Bogart here from the movie. Pretty cool, and it sits right here, right next to the Holiday Inn.